Oh, good morning, y'all. The truth is here, y'all. The truth is in the building. Dr. Pinesett, what up, y'all? How we doing? Right? It is a Thursday morning. I'm off today. It's my off day. I'm about to go swim with the kids, but instead, I make a post yesterday to get you guys to your goals, like I'm always trying to do. And I guess I set the world on fire because I want to be honest, because I want to be truthful, because I want to be real with y'all. I apologize for my truth telling. So we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna break it down because the reality is, guys, that any student who wants to get into medical school can absolutely get into medical school. The problem is social media is liars and the lies we tell ourselves that keep us out of medical school. And it's painful sometimes to hear someone tell you the cold hard truth to get your ass in gear, but I can't help that because it's about making you successful. So I'm gonna hit this intro and we're gonna break down what it is to have a low GPA, what it really means, and we're gonna get past the rhetoric and the BS. Because someone called me, or when I made this post yesterday, someone said I was full of shit. 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 Full of shit, they said. And so I wanna see where the BS really lies and what the truth is. They said, you can get into medical school with a 2.0, 2.5 GPA. You're full of shit, Dr. Pinesett. And so we're gonna talk about what the truth is and what the reality is, right? I'm fired up, right? So let's go this morning. Let's get at it. Let's go. What I teach you guys is transformation. If you didn't dominate, changes need to be made. So I give you guys entire systems that make you new. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, good morning, guys. So today we're talking low pre-med GPA. What up, guys? Christian, Harpreet, Dujan in the building. What up, everybody? Jacob, let's go. So the low GPA, guys, the dreaded low GPA, it is the number one issue that pre-meds face getting into medical school. It's the problem. Why? Because we are young when we start college. We are young when we get going in our education. And so because of that, we aren't aware of how important everything we're doing is for our future, right? We don't take it seriously. We're not focused enough, whatever it is. And as a result, our GPA is terrible, right? In those early, what we call weed out classes that people like to call them. But the reality is those are just the first classes you're taking. And no one is truly weeded out of medical school after 1 year or 2 years of bad grades. You can always come back from your bad GPA. But the important thing to recognize, guys, is getting into medical school is not a joke. It's not a joke. And it is for the select. It is for the few. It's like being in the military. People act like military is for jokes. No, military is for serious characters who understand what the military is about and the responsibility and the obligation that comes with it. So it's not just for anybody and everybody. And so it's so important. Give me 1 second here. We ban these spam bots real quick. It's so important that we understand, guys, that medical school, not everyone will get into medical school. It's the reality. It's the truth. It hurts, but not everyone will get into medical school. And so I posted yesterday on Instagram a segment from one of my YouTube videos, and the whole video, I think, is like 30 something minutes, long video. And I go in to talk about what low GPA means. I define it, and I talk about how we can get into medical school despite our low GPA. And one of the first things that I address is that if you are a low GPA student, it is unacceptable for you to be focusing on other aspects of your application other than fixing your GPA. Why? Because while medical schools claim that medical school admissions are holistic, the problem is that medical schools are inundated with applications. They are overwhelmed, the sheer volume of them. And while they would love to read every single student's personal story, there simply isn't enough time and enough people to do that. And so what happens is medical schools say, okay, listen, the best way we can do this is find the most qualified applicants and then give them a holistic application review. And so a lot of schools will use the hard numbers as a way to say, okay, these applications are not even gonna get reviewed at all. The GPA and the MCAT. Can we all agree on this? So I said in the video yesterday that if your GPA is not quality, if you have a low GPA, a 2.5 GPA is GPA I said it's not acceptable to say, I'm working on research. Oh, I'm volunteering. Oh, I'm doing the hospital clinical shadowing. I'm doing all these things. And you act like you're doing something. But the reality is medical schools don't care about any of that stuff if you don't have the numbers. That's the truth. That's the honest to goodness truth. I wish it wasn't so. I wish that wasn't the case, because the other truth is, right? And I acknowledge this truth, and I said this, is that your GPA is never a reflection of who you are as a person. It does not determine your worth in this world. And you should never get hung up on your GPA as a person, right? Because if your GPA is low, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It doesn't mean you're not smart. But what it does show is that you have performed poorly in your classes thus far. That's what it shows. It shows medical schools, if your GPA is low, that you have performed poorly in your classes. Can we all acknowledge that truth? We're live action, y'all. So can we acknowledge that truth? Light the box up right now. Can we acknowledge the truth that if you have a low GPA, it does not mean you're any less smart than anyone else. It does not mean you are incapable of being a great doctor. It does not mean you are a bad person. But it does mean you have not performed well in your classes. We can acknowledge it. Yes? Okay. So now that we acknowledge that part of it, my next thing to you guys is if I'm a medical school and I don't know each and every one of you individually personally, and I want to get in the most capable candidates who will survive the rigors of medical school, because medical school truly is a difficulty factor unmatched anywhere else. So if you can't hang, is what they're trying to say, okay, listen, we need people who are going to hang in this fire hose of information. And so they're looking at all these candidates and the way they can best determine it, right? They use a surrogate of academic aptitude. It's a surrogate, right? We use surrogates all the time in epidemiology, public health, all these things. We use surrogates to get at what we really want to get at because they're associated, they're correlated. And for medical schools, in their perception, whether it's true or false, whether they should be doing this or not, they do this. They say, we can't get to know each of these students individually, so what we have to use is our best surrogate data to see if they're academically capable of surviving. The two biggest surrogates they use to determine that are your GPA and your MCAT. And again, your GPA and your MCAT score do not have anything to do with how smart you are. But they do show how well you performed in your classes and how well you performed on the MCAT exam. And why, the reasoning, the logic, because I've talked to these people, the reasoning behind that makes a lot of sense, because if I'm a medical school, I've got to use something that is quote unquote objective, right? That I can say, oh, listen, this person might be prepared, they might not, but this is the best determinant I have. The reason GPA and MCAT are so valuable to medical schools is because everyone has one. Everyone has GPA, everyone has an MCAT score. But more importantly, every single pre-med on this earth knows that your GPA and your MCAT matter to medical schools. So hear me now. Everybody ready? If medical schools know that your GPA and your MCAT matter, right? It's important to you because becoming a doctor is everything you ever wanted to be. You say, I got to be a doctor, everything I need. If you know that GPA and MCAT are critical, are crucial, are essential to you becoming that doctor that you have to be, then it's fair for them to posit that if you are serious about medical school, you will have a serious GPA and a serious MCAT. And if we're honest, and we continue it, the reason that many of you guys who have low GPAs is not because you're not smart, is not because you're not capable, is not because you're not great people. It's because early on in college, you weren't serious enough. You weren't focused enough. You weren't engaged enough. You weren't locked in. You weren't skilled enough. You didn't have the resources. You were lacking something early in your college career. And the sad and unfortunate part is, and this is why I'm so abrasive. I've said it. I am the asshole that you see in front of you on this screen. When you feel like I'm being mean, I absolutely am being mean. And the reason I'm being mean, guys, is because I was the low GPA student. So when someone comes on my Instagram and gives me a comment, this woman said, Dr. Binder, this is terribly irresponsible. There are students out here who have low GPAs and they're on the borderline of giving up. And when you tell them that their low GPA is not good enough, they're going to quit. Okay, I got it. So I got it. And she's like, oh, the system is rigged for racism and discrimination and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, so wait, I got you. Oh, now I get it. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm wrong for telling people to improve their GPA. I should follow what you're saying, which is the system is rigged. It's racist. It's discriminatory. Okay, got it. Okay, it's racist and discriminatory. I'm going to tell all the students this. Hey, the system is rigged. It's racist and discriminatory. They're holding us back. You have a 2.5 GPA? The system is rigged against you. It is unfair. They shouldn't care about your GPA, so you don't even worry about your GPA. Don't even worry about it. You are everything. I love you. You matter. As Eddie just put in the box, I'm not going to enable helpless characters. All my students are independent, are confident. No, they believe in their minds I can be anything through my work and my effort and my ability to create the life, to create domination, to create opportunity. You read the shirt. I don't false advertise. Someone said I was full of shit. Guys, when have I ever been full of shit? I want to read something to you. Who knows what the word charlatan is? Because we're going to get into it, right? Today, you guys are here. I'm going to reintroduce you guys to me just in case you were confused about who stands in front of you when I come on the screen. What's a charlatan? What does that word mean? It's particularly pertinent right now, what we got going on COVID and everything. What does charlatan mean? What is charlatan? We're going to get into it, y'all. We live action. If you were here with me right now, you understand what I'm saying right now? Like this video. Understand what we're talking about. Answer my question because we are live action. What is a charlatan? Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Harpreet said a poser. What is a charlatan, y'all? A snake oil salesman, right? What is a charlatan? This is so important because someone said that I was full of excrement. I was full of trash, right? They tried to call me a charlatan. But we got to understand what a charlatan is, right? Eddie says it's a fake, right? It's a fraud. So I'm going to read you guys the dictionary definition of a charlatan. It's a person practicing quackery. In order, right? So the first part is they're a person who's practicing quackery. Quackery. Quack, quack, quack. Okay? Secondly, it is a person who does that in order to obtain something for themselves under a false pretense. Hear me and hear me now. It's a person who practices quackery in order to obtain something for themselves, some gain, under a false pretense, using trickery and fraud and fakeness to make you do something to make them something. Yes? The sad truth, because this is a truth-telling session, and my students are putting in the box right now, we're listing them off, who all these charlatans are, is social media is full of charlatans, y'all. People who are on social media, right? Who are on social media presenting to you quackery and fluff and fakeness and feelings to make you like them and follow them and share their posts. I want to have 1 million followers, 1 million followers. Why? So they can get endorsement money. Oh, so they can feel self-important. That's a charlatan. If you guys know me, you know I could care less about how many followers I have on social media, how many likes I get, right? You guys ever see me pitch you, hey guys, check out my scrubs. Look at these amazing fig scrubs. Why don't you guys get some of these? How do fig scrubs help a pre-med get into medical school? Can I ask that question? Can we be honest and real for a second? Can I ask that question? All these people out here who you guys like their posts, you follow these characters, these charlatans who are pitching you fig scrubs, how does that help you as a pre-med? If you own a pair of fig scrubs as a pre-med, what are you doing with yourself? I'm just asking. If I were to sell you a suture kit, how does that help you become a doctor? I'm asking, right? I'm just asking a basic question. So when someone comes on my social media and says that I'm full of shit, they're calling me a charlatan. But I would flip it on you and say, I'm the opposite of a charlatan. Because I've never lied about what I'm here for. I have one thing I care about, and that is you guys succeeding. If you don't get the GPA, if you don't get into medical school, likes don't make me feel better. What makes me feel good is Christian, who's on here right now, who crushed his post-bac program applying to medical school. What makes me feel good is Eddie on here, who's crushing his post-bac program, going to be applying to medical school. What makes me feel good is Harpreet right now, just asking for a letter of recognition last week. He's applying to medical school. That's what makes me feel good. Not likes, y'all. I've never lied about why I'm here. I'm only here, like I said, it's my day off. I only care about you guys succeeding. And the truth is, I can't make you succeed in a 30-second reel. And I've said this, again, because I'm not a charlatan. Me selling you fig scrubs is not going to get you into medical school. But you know what will get you into medical school? Not a 30-second reel, but 30 hours of me teaching you how to study. Or 30 hours of me teaching you how to pre-med, how to apply to medical school. That will get you into medical school. But 30 seconds will not. And so when someone comes on my social media and calls me a charlatan and says, hey, you're discouraging students, and hey, this reel is going to stop low GPA students from getting into medical school. No. Their inability to recognize, to acknowledge they are unacceptable to medical schools is what's going to keep them out. What will get them in is recognizing and realizing that when medicals look at them, they look right through them. When you walk up, try it. I want you guys as premeds, go up to someone who works at a medical school at a premed conference and say, hey, I have a 2.0 GPA. I have a 2.5 GPA. Can you help me get into medical school? Go up to a medical student and say, hey, I have a 2.0, 2.5. Can you help me get into medical school? And you're gonna get one of two responses. One will be, oh yeah, don't even worry about that because it's holistic. Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be great, because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Or two, they're going to say, ooh, 2.5 GPA, you can't do it. Try something else. Maybe nursing? That's the most common two responses. And I know this because I watch it happen. I see these students who come to me, Dr. Pinesett, someone said this, someone said this. Forget what they're saying. Read the shirt, y'all. No excuses, we just dominate. If your GPA is low, yes, you are currently, as constructed, not capable of getting into medical school. So what must you do? Recognize that and change. Become a better student, get better grades, become acceptable, and get into medical school. It helps no one if I sit here and care about your feelings and like, oh, you got a low GPA, let's hug it out, and you just keep plugging along. No, we've got to make massive change. We've got to shake things up because you've been doing the same. It'll be okay for 1 year. Then it's 2 years. Then it's 3 years. Then it's 4 years. Then it's a terrible post-bac program. And all you're doing is digging your hole deeper and deeper and deeper. And the people who tell you it's okay, just keep going, are the people who are shoveling dirt on top of your head as you dig your own grave. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's very important, guys. If you want to be successful, you have to live in reality. It's not about how you feel, because too many people out here wanted to feel comfortable, wanted to go to the party, wanted to sleep more, and that's why their GPA sucks. Too many people had a low GPA, didn't address it, and go do this and go do that and do this. And then how uncomfortable do you think it feels? How bad do you think it feels to get rejected from medical school? Continue that. How bad would it feel to get rejected from medical school and immediately know, dang, it's that low GPA. Dang, I should have fixed it. Dang, I just kept plugging along, messing up, not knowing how to study, not knowing how to do well. What feels worse? It's hilarious, guys, because I talk about these charlatans. And this woman who came on my channel, on my Instagram, and said, hey, you're doing this terrible message, and well, the system is rigged against you. I don't believe in systems being rigged against you because it's no excuses, y'all. Yes, the system is rigged. Yes, it's rigged for a black man like myself from a disadvantaged background to not become a doctor. That's the facts. But despite that system being rigged against me, I dominated anyway. And the retort, right, the rebuttal is, well, you're just so, well, no. If you guys want to know why I'm a doctor, who wants to know why I'm a doctor? I'll tell you right now. Who wants to know why I'm a doctor, y'all? Who wants to know what separates me from the tens of thousands of other students who wish they could be a doctor and wish they could be where I am as an anesthesiologist. Do you want to know what separates us? Who wants to know right now? Because I'll spill it. Let's go. Today's about truth and reality and getting real, right? So let's get real. Who wants to know? Because I can tell you right now, it's exactly one thing. Who's ready? Danielle says, I do. Utham says, yep. I'll tell you the exact thing that separates me from all the people who got rejected. My parents. My parents. My parents, who neither one of which graduated college when I was in college. Those parents. My parents. Do you know why? Because when I finished my freshman year of college as a low GPA student, and this is why I tell this story, people miss the message here. I had a terrible low freshman year GPA, and my college counselor told me, you will never get into medical school. Take your black ass over to African studies. And I said, but I'm not African, I'm American. I'm a black American. I don't know why I'd be in African studies, but okay. Take your black ass over to African studies, and then you'll have a chance of maybe graduating with a degree. That's what my college counselor told me. Handed me the transfer paperwork. And it hurt my feelings, y'all, and I cried. And my parents, y'all, hear me. I called them to bellyache, to complain, to be sold a bill of false goods from them telling me it's going to be okay. Just keep doing what you're doing. I called them. Right? That's why we go to social media. We want to be affirmed. We want our beliefs to be affirmed. It'll be okay. I'm okay. I'm enough. We want to hear that. So I called my parents. I called my dad. I said, hey, Dad, my counselor told me I'll never get into medical school. Isn't she crazy? Oh, man, this is terrible. Oh, pity me, pity me. And my dad was at work. And he said, son, I'm at work. You know better than to call me talking about I can't. The solution is to get your ass to work. Literally, that's what he said. Get to work. You got to work harder. And hung the phone up on me. He refused to give in to my pity party. He refused to make me feel good. He said, get your ass to work. Just like that. And then I'm pissed because I wanted him to confirm my how I saw myself as, oh, it's going to be okay. I wanted him to say that. He didn't say that. He said, get your ass to work. So then I call my mom to have, oh, hold me close and tell me it's going to be okay. And I call my mom. I told her the same thing. And my mom said, no, there are kids out there getting A's. Go to them, figure out what they're doing to get the A's, and get the A's. There's no reason you can't get the A's, but you got to change. Go. And she hung the phone up on me. How many of you guys have parents who would literally take a bullet for you? Who understand what it is and again, I have kids now. As a parent's role, I understand. If to be a successful parent, you have to understand it's not about how your kids feel about you. My dad used to always tell me, I never understood it until I got older. My dad used to always tell me, it's not my job to make you like me. It's my job to make you successful. And I never understood it for a long, long time. But now as I look back with the gray in my beard, I can see what he was talking about. Your parents, all they want for you is for you to have the world. They want you to have everything you've ever dreamed of having. And so because of that, they have to say no to you every once in a while. They have to tell you things that hurt your feelings. They have to be that person, that voice of realness, of rawness, who will give it to you, the truth, when everyone else will lie right to your face to spare your feelings. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And I understand that me getting my ass to work and figuring out what it takes to be successful and committing myself to work every single day harder than everyone else, smarter than everyone else, came from my parents telling me, not it's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. Get your ass to work and figure out what they're doing. That's literally the moment that changed everything for me. Everything. When I come on social media, when I have courses, I'm not here for your feelings. In fact, when we go to my closed group coaching sessions for my courses, We often have students who cry, who have tears. Last week we were in MCAT coaching, and I had a student who I know well, who's been studying for the MCAT. And she was crying during the session. Crying. Why? Because I spent 45 minutes challenging her false beliefs, bringing to her the truth and the reality that she was sabotaging her studying. And I spent another 35, 40 minutes teaching her, here's how you stop sabotaging. Here's how you get the MCAT score. As a minority, as a disadvantaged student, I don't care about your excuses. I don't care about your obstacles. Here's what you're going to do. And I'm so proud of the work I do with students. And I'm so proud of my students because I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'll never be everyone's cup of tea. I'm never going to be, right, 1 million followers. Why? Because not everybody's ready for the truth, right? The new Matrix just came out, red pill or blue pill. Not everybody's ready for the red pill. But I'm so proud of my students because the people who are drawn to me are people who are like, no, it's time out for lies. It's time out for false truth. It's time out for feelings. And it's time for me to go get my dream. That's what it's about. And so I was so proud of this student because, again, she cried during the session, right? And she's like, you're right. I'm going to make a change. And you know what separates, again, the students who are successful and students who are not, is after that session, 2 days later, she sent me a long email, point by point by point, all the changes she's going to make based on my feedback. And she signed off, and I love it because it encapsulates what we're talking about. She signed off, no excuses, in parentheses, this time, comma, just dominate. And it was so awesome. It made me stand up like, yeah, because she understands. The reason her MCAT score isn't where she wants it is because she's been making excuses. She's been falling into the traps that social media and this world sets for us to lie to ourselves, for us to pacify ourselves. And she said, I'm done with that, and now I'm ready to dominate, and I know I can because I see the path. That's the difference, y'all. And so for all of you guys with low GPAs, what I want to say to you is don't let anybody lie to you and tell you you're going to get in with your low GPA. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you just to keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Just keep going. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let people lie to you and tell you to quit on yourself. Don't let people lie to you and tell you can never get in. Instead, listen to the truth, y'all, which you're going to hear right now. Anybody can get into medical school, but you have to put the work in. You have to educate yourself. You have to elevate yourself because not everybody's going to get in. If you want it bad enough and you're willing to work for it and you're willing to evolve and improve and do the difficult things that no one else wants to do, you will get into medical school. But if you lie to yourself, if you settle, if you look for comfort as opposed for results, you're never going to get in. That's the truth. And like I said, this woman left this comment saying, hey, if all you care about is student success and all that means to you is student getting in, you're jacked up, man. You got to care about their feelings. But the question I'll ask again is if you come to my channel and you listen to me and you hear me say, you're going to be okay, cheerlead for you, but then you don't get into medical school, what hurts worse? What does it mean to you, for all of you guys? Does getting into medical school mean the world to you? Does it mean everything to you? Is it all you think about? Do you stay up late at nights thinking about it? Do you obsess about it? Do you spend all your waking hours working towards that? I would be appalled if someone said they could help me and they weren't as obsessed with me getting results as I am with you guys getting results. If someone says they're going to help me, but they're not as obsessed and as committed to my success as I am, then why do I want them working with me? Right? It's what a great mentor is someone who's completely committed to your success. So if I come out, right? Because again, I'm full of shit. I'm the charlatan. But if I come out and I say to you, I don't care about your feelings. I care about your results. I care about you reaching your goals. I care about you being successful. I care about you creating a real life that matters to you, that feels, that really is substantial, that changes your life, your family's life, your kids' life. That's what I care about. How does that make me heartless? I actually think that makes me more invested in you. Does it not? Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? Think about that psychology. I said to someone, I'm like, listen, I don't care if I hurt people's feelings. I'm okay if you cry during a coaching session, because I'm going to hug you and I'm going to say, here's how we're going to get it done. Because what I care about is not your tears. I care about the tears you're going to cry when you walk across that stage and they give you that diploma and you're the first person in your family to graduate college, when you're the first person in your family to get the white coat, when you're going back to your community and you're serving those people of color that you say you care so much about. That's what I care about. Do you understand what I'm saying right now to everybody right now? And again, I don't have to be a charlatan, y'all, because I'm free. And I'm free because my only mission is to help students succeed. I don't need endorsement dollars. I don't need anyone to co-sign my message. My message is me. Everything I say is me, a tribute to me. I stand behind it. I don't apologize for nothing. Why? Because I only care about student success. And if you aren't ready to succeed, then sometimes it hurts when you hear me talk. It hurts. Because you hear and you recognize and you internalize that, dang, this guy's speaking the truth. I ain't ready for it. It's okay. I'm not, right? I'm not for everybody. I'm for the students who are ready to succeed, who are ready to change their life, who are ready to have everything they ever wanted come to them. I'm not here for people who hold my hand. Nah, I'm here to get you great, to get you dominant, to get you to your dreams. If you aren't about that life, this isn't the channel for you. I'm not the person for you. Unsubscribe right now because I don't want you. Again, I make no false anythings. I'm allergic to lazy, right? I'm allergic to people who don't want to work. I'm allergic to people who don't need to succeed. If you don't need to succeed, here we go. Ready? Everyone, if you don't need to succeed, then you don't need me. Unsubscribe. But if you need, because you know what's at stake, how it changes your life, your family's life, your community's life when you become a doctor, if that's you, you know how important it is for you to become a physician. If you know how important it is for you to get A's, you need me. You need to be here. That's the separator. Does everybody understand? And like I said, this woman said, oh, you care about this, people getting in. I'd rather have this is what she said. Literally, this is a charlatan. I would rather have a 2.5 GPA student who cares about their community than a 4.0 student who doesn't give they said DGAF, doesn't give a F word about the community. And again, I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty strong juxtaposition. So we assume if someone has a 4.0, they don't care about the community. And we assume someone has 2.5, they care about the community. That seems like some snake oilery to me. That seems like some charlatan talk to me. I'm just trying to put it together right now. And so, since she said this, it's amazing, guys. The universe brings you everything you need. Again, this is impromptu. I've seen this I'm watching this unfold this morning on my Instagram. So I'm like, let's get real. Let's talk about it. So literally, no student that I say, I'm going to do a live on this. A student responds to her comment and says, you're so right. You're so right. I can get into medical school with a 2.5 GPA. It's not 0% chance. And he said some word about me being ignorant. I'm so ignorant. So I thought, let's have some share time. I love that the AAMC publishes their data so we can all see. And I love the fact that when they publish their data, you know what they put at the top of the page? Can you read it? Everybody can see it? It says facts. Facts. You know what it should say? Big facts, y'all. Big facts. No charlatans here. This is just the facts. Because everybody can talk about, COVID vaccine, there's aliens coming in, doesn't work, people aren't dying of COVID. I don't want opinions. I don't want feelings. I want facts. So AAMC gives me all the facts. So can we talk about it? How about this one here? Can everybody see that there? This is a chart that shows you from 2019 to 2022. This shows you, this is the most recent data that AAMC put out about GPAs and MCATs. Across the top, we have MCATs. Across the side, we have GPAs. What I want to draw your attention to is here. So this woman said, I'd rather have a 2.5 student than a 4.0 student. Well, I'm sure that feels good for her to say. But let's look at what medical schools have to say. Shall we? I'm going to zoom out here for a second so we can see it. Look over here on the right side, guys, the far right column. Can everybody see my mouse? Can everybody see my mouse on the page or no? Let me know. We're trying something new today. Ooh, there we go. If I click it, you guys can see it. There we go. Greater than 3.79 GPA, your chances of getting in are 61%. 61%, y'all. If we roll down, okay, to 2.5, which would be here the 2.40 to 2.59 category, your chances of acceptance are 4.3%. As we continue, if you drop even one category lower, look at this, guys. This is the data. So when this woman comes on, everybody's like, yeah, you're right, 2.5, I'd rather have 2.5. Medical schools tell you, look at the data. They don't want that student over the 4.0 student. They don't want that student. Does everybody see what I'm saying right now? What's more important, again, this is going in and looking. I want everyone, the reason I pulled this one up first, there's another chart I'm going to show you in a second. But the reason this chart is so important is I want you to look at this section of the chart right here. Look here. What people fail to talk about is that your GPA is a reflection of your ability to do well academically. Not your intelligence, none of that, but your ability to do well academically. Your GPA tends to correlate with your MCAT score. So the people who have the lowest GPAs, I want you to look at how many of them have high MCAT scores. It's a correlation. It's a surrogate. Not exactly accurate. You can buck the trend, but if you look at that. So when people say, oh, don't worry about your low GPA, just take the MCAT and do great. The problem is that students who have lower GPAs are going to have a tougher time scoring at the highest MCAT levels. Look at the percentages, 30, right? 46, 52, 55, 64. The chances of you scoring high on the MCAT are lower. Why? Because you need more practice in developing your discipline, and your study skills, and your test taking skills, which count and matter on the MCAT. Well, where do you get that practice? Where do you develop that? You develop that in your coursework. So if you have a low GPA, you don't just apply to medical school. You fix your GPA because you're going to be fixing your study skills, your test taking skills, all those things, and then you'll be able to fix your MCAT score and you'll be able to get into medical school. Truth. Look here, guys. These are tables of applicants and matriculants. And again, it's a lot of data for nothing. But what I want to point out is when someone says there's not a 0% chance you'll get in with a 2.5 GPA. When they say, hey, listen, I'm going to apply my 2.5 GPA. Oh my gosh, you can do it. 2.5 GPA, you're great. You're amazing. Medical schools want you with a 2.5 GPA. What I want you guys to do is pay attention here, okay? These are matriculants. GPA total. Let's scroll over to 2021, 2022, most recent year. The average GPA total for an accepted medical student was 3.74. They also give us the standard deviation of 0.25. Why this is important is because now it allows us to calculate our rough percentages solely based on the GPA. So now this is a bell curve. Has everyone seen this? Everyone has to take stats to get into medical school, right? So if 3.75 is the average, is the mean of people who get accepted to medical school, that puts it here. And then we can calculate our chances of getting in by just moving standard deviations down the curve, 0.25. So the middle here is 3.74. Let me get the exact number here. 3.74. The standard deviation is 0.25. So that means if you jump to this next tier, that would be having a 3.49 GPA. If you have less than a 3.49 GPA, that puts you on this side of the curve. So less than a 3.49 GPA, your chances of acceptance overall roughly are about 15%. Does that make sense? Yes? 15% of the applicants, right, who got in had less than a 3.4. If you drop it down another 0.25, this is 3.25. So if your GPA is below 3.25, you have about, right, of all the applicants who apply, only 2% of them have less than a 3.25 GPA. If we keep scrolling and we're over here, and this is the 3.0 line, if you have less than a 3.0 GPA when you apply to medical school, your chances of getting in are 0.1%. Does this make sense to everybody? 0.1% of accepted students have a GPA below 3.0. So when someone comes on my page and says, I'd rather have a student with a 2.5 than a 4.0 because she wants to make you guys feel good, is she helping you or is she hurting you? Am I a charlatan or is she a charlatan? When I tell you your 2.5 GPA is not good enough, it's because I want you to recognize it's not going to get you in. If you're a disadvantaged student, why would I want you to waste thousands of dollars applying when you might not be able to reapply because you can't afford it? What I want you to do is recognize the problem and then fix it. I don't know, with a solution that I give you in one of my courses. Again, I'm no charlatan. I come on here every time. What I tell you, guys, get to my website, thestudydoc.com. Get into a course, get into a coaching program, get great. What I say every time. No false pretenses. I'm only here to get you guys to enroll in a course, to enroll in coaching. Why? Because the solution is within your grasp and it's on my website. So why wouldn't I want to give you the solution? Why wouldn't I want to help you reach your goals? Oh, I'm sorry. I should be busy caring about your feelings. That's better. Because as long as you feel good today, it doesn't matter if you actually are good. You just want to feel good, right? I feel good. Feel good. Yeah, feel real good. Oh, yeah, all right, great. But you're not on track with your goals. So what does it matter? Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? I mean, you're right. If you have a low GPA, medical schools do not want you and you're currently constructed. You must make changes. And the first step, any psychologist, anything you've ever read about, you don't have to be a psychologist, anyone who ever tells you anything about change, whether it's losing weight, whether it's changing your grades, whether it's getting better relationships, whatever it is, the first step to change is acknowledgement of the need to change. In medical school, they teach you motivational interviewing. And they talk about the stages of change and where people are on that change. And if you want to get someone to stop smoking, you first have to make them recognize that they need to stop smoking. If they don't recognize the need to stop smoking, your words are going to go one ear out the other ear. I'm not the bad guy for telling you you have a bad GPA and medical schools don't want you. Because that's the first step. The next step, again, I said this, it's written in my Instagram post, where I read the caption, is you've got to get better at studying. You gotta learn how to study. You gotta learn how to learn. You gotta learn how to be organized and disciplined. Improve your GPA. I said in the caption, you don't get credit for completing a postbac. You don't get into medical school because you complete a postbac. You get into medical school because you excelled in a postbac. You don't get into medical school, you apply to 2.5. You go from your 2.5, you improve that GPA with extra courses, a master's, whatever. You do great on the MCAT. You do other extracurriculars, and then you get into medical school. Right? But for so many students, we get lulled to sleep, as someone put in the box earlier here, by charlatans on the internet talking about you fine how you are. You're fine how you are. Just be you and you're going to get into medical school. That is a lie. And I refuse to lie about you because, like your parents, I care about you and your success too much. Like my parents cared about me too much to lie to me. I care about you guys too much to lie to you. And you guys need to check yourselves and check other people. And we got to change this whole thing up, y'all. We cannot continue to chop down and to cancel and to criticize people who want to tell the hard, difficult truths, the minority opinions. It's terrible. Oh, you said something doesn't agree with me? You're canceled. I'm unfollowing. This woman, as she continues to comment and comment and comment on Instagram posts, like, I agree with most of what you say, but this post, man, woo-wee, your wording, you got a good point, but your wording, man, is woo-wee, too, like, what? Think about that, y'all. It can't be about your feelings, guys. It's got to be about the result. It's got to be about you being your best self. And I work with students of all spectrums, colors, abilities, backgrounds, experience, low GPA, high GPA, this, that, the thing. I don't care. Because if you need to succeed, I can show you the way. You have to be willing and able to hear the truth and then to act on that truth. And if you aren't interested in that, then you aren't interested in getting better, and you aren't truly interested in getting good grades or truly interested in getting into medical school. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not your friend, y'all. They're a charlatan. Does everybody understand? I plan on going 20 minutes. We did 46 minutes. Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? And what I'll continue to ask everybody, I end every video, again, there's no lies here to be had here. I'm transparent as they come. How do we end every single video, y'all? I say it every single time. I say, listen, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're facing, nothing can stop you. No excuses, just dominate. Forget people telling you the system is rigged and racist and discriminatory and sexist and biased, and forget people telling you that, because all they're doing is pacifying you. Suck your thumb. Giving you excuses to sit on as everyone passes you by. And I'm here to light the fire up in you to tell you, get up and work and go get your future. Because nothing can stop you if you don't stop yourself. If you don't allow the people to stop you with their rhetoric and with their lies. Hear the truth, move to the truth, and create your future, y'all. Every single person can be great, can get into medical school no matter what they've done, what they've experienced, what they're going through, what obstacles they face, whatever's going on. But you've got to do the work, and we've got to stop with the excuses. Does everybody understand? Shannon's texting me because now I'm late. Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? I'm supposed to be in the car right now, going to hang out with my kids. So what are we talking about? You can succeed. It doesn't matter who's trying to hold you down, who's trying to oppress you, who's trying to stop you, what's against you. You can succeed. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care. You can succeed. You can be successful. You can be different than your past. You can be different than your hood. You can be different than where you come from. You can rise above. And again, I'll tell you one, I'll leave you with this. Then I'm going to leave. Again, I'm here because of my parents. And I'm going to leave you with something my dad told me. Again, he said, it's not my job to make you like me. It's my job to make you successful. I love that. He also told me, he said, son, you have an obligation. You have a responsibility. Your obligation, your responsibility is to be better than me. Every generation has a responsibility to be better than the previous generation. And if you settle for what your parents were, for what your grandparents were, if you settle for staying in the same place you were born in and not doing better, you're failing your parents who have sacrificed too much for you to slide backwards. And I appreciate my dad for that. And I appreciate my mom for all the messages she gave me because, guys, it's the truth. Wherever you start, it doesn't matter. That's your starting point, your stepping stone to step to the higher stone, to the next level, to advance yourself, to advance your family. And people who will tell you because you're from wherever, or because you don't have money, or because you can't, in my case, I couldn't read well. I wasn't a good student. I'll be honest. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they try to frame you, how they try to hold you down. You have the power to break out of it, to break free, to say, I refuse to be that anymore. I will be better. I will be my best. And if you're ready for that, I'm here for you. And if you're not, then you go hang out with whoever that lady is who left that idiotic comment on my page talking about I don't care about students. Because that's insulting to me. You can say what you want about me for the most part, but you can't say I don't care about students. You can say I'm abrasive, you can say I'm an asshole, you can say all these things, but you can't say I don't give it all to my students. You can't say I don't care about their success. And you can't tell me I'm crazy for caring and being obsessed with their success. I refuse that. And I refuse to allow her to pervert your mind and to put you in a situation where you may be like, oh, she's right. She commented 6 times saying the system is rigged and it's racist. Well, I'm a black student and my GPA is low. It's rigged. I should just quit. She's making you quit. Me telling you that you're nothing in med school's eyes, me telling you that you aren't going to get accepted how you currently are with your current statistics, and that you need to work on yourself, that you can do it, but you got to work. Come on, y'all. Think about that. Think about that, y'all. I'm going to get out of here because Shannon's really blowing me up right now. I care about you guys. I care about you if you care about yourself. If you don't care about yourself enough, if you don't care about your dream enough to work, then I don't care about you, period. I've said it. Again, I'm the jerk, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not here for 90% of the internet is a bunch of bozos who aren't willing to work, so I don't care about them. I'm here for the few who are ready to work, the few who need their dream because they know what it means to themselves, their families, and their communities. If that's not you, I'm not for you. So that's a reintroduction to me. How's that, y'all? Let's clarify my position and who's I am's. Who's a what's a. So again, we'll end it the same way we always end. No matter where you've been, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you face, you can have everything, y'all. You can have your dream. You can be happy. You can be successful. You can have meaning. You can have great relationships. But you've got to put in work because anything worth having requires work. And we must move past the excuses onto the working, onto the strategizing, onto the planning, onto the executing if we want to be successful and if we want to dominate. So go today, guys. It's Thursday. Still got a day and a half left in this week. Get to work, y'all. Get it done. And I'll see you guys next time. If this message, if it hit you in some kind of way, take a second and like this video. Take the next step, y'all, and share this video. Put it on your Facebook page. Put it on your Instagram and let people know. If you guys know me, if you're one of my students and you see people bad-mouthing me on the internet, step up and say, no. You got it wrong. Dr. Pinesett's here for us. Dr. Pinesett knows what he's talking about. Step up for yourself. Step up for our community, for the cult of greatness. Step up for truth and honesty. That's what I'm asking you guys to do today. So everyone have a wonderful day. I'm out this piece. No excuses, just dominate, y'all. Later. That's it for another episode of the Study Doc Show. Show your love by smashing the like button and commenting in the box below. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses, no more complaining. You're going to take your future into your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better? Get to my website, thestudydoc.com. Grab a free ebook, sign up for a free webinar, and if you're really ready to transform, enroll in one of my life-changing courses or coaching programs. You have greatness inside you. Let me show you how to unlock it so you can dominate and make your dreams a reality. No excuses, just dominate.